Hey guys, I'd like to walk you through the process for how I made this cross-cutting sled for a basic table saw. It's easy to make and very effective. Cross-cutting sleds are a safe way to cut small pieces, and the zero clearance of the blade gives you a nice clean edge every time. For this cross-cutting sled, I used a 3/8 inch piece of plywood, a 3/4 inch piece of plywood, and a handful of screws. Make sure that the piece of plywood fits inside the miter slot perfectly. You can see in the video that in my first attempt, the piece of plywood I cut was just a little too wide for the miter slot. It's worth the time to cut as many pieces as you need to get a perfect fit. This next piece is perfect. It slides nicely and there's no movement side to side. We'll just cut the remaining pieces now, which are the fence boards on either end and the body of the sled. All three pieces will be 2 feet wide. Okay, onto the assembly. We'll attach the slides onto the body first. I'm dropping some dimes in the miter gauge slots so that the pieces of wood sit up just high enough. I'll line up the body right up against the fence, and that way I know that it's parallel to the blade, and that's a really important step. I'll use an air gun here to tack the pieces in temporarily, and then I'll secure it with screws from beneath. At this point, test your sled. It should slide back and forth easily and have no side-to-side movement. That's really important. I'll attach the front and back sled fences the same way by tacking them in place with the air gun, and then I'll use some wood screws to secure them in place. The last step is to raise the table saw blade and run the sled through one time. And that will give us the exact position of the blade each time the crosscut sled is used. Do not cut your sled in half. Raise your blade to about 1.5 inches height maximum. I'm marking off the location of the blade with an X on the front and back fence. It's just a visual reminder of where the blade will be traveling.